Though we don't know them in real life, a celebrity death can still feel personal, from movie stars to politicians to musicians who changed the world. Here are some of the celebrities we lost in 2024. One Direction fans were devastated when news broke on October 16th that Liam Payne had died at 31. The singer fell from the balcony of his room at the Casa Sur Palermo Hotel in Buenos Aires. Shortly before the accident, Payne had been removed from the lobby, and the hotel manager, concerned for Payne's safety, had called the police.
There was an incident where he was very frustrated and was smashing his laptop in the lobby.
The manager noted that the singer had been using drugs and alcohol, saying, "I don't know if the guest's life is in danger because he is in a room with a balcony, and we are afraid he could do something that threatens his life." Authorities arrived just minutes later. It was too late. In the wake of the news, fans of the singer congregated outside the hotel to show their respects. Auditions for Britain's Got Talent were postponed indefinitely as a mark of respect by producer Simon Cowell, who was instrumental in Payne's career.
You're 16, right? 16. Right, that was extraordinary.
Payne is survived by his son Bear, whom he shared with Cheryl Cole. Though Payne and Cole made a point of keeping Bear out of the spotlight, Payne made no secret of the fact that he was close with his little boy. In fact, in one video, he talked about his son in a way that's now bittersweet.
And he looks like a mini-me. As if we needed any more me in the world.
One Direction fans would beg to differ. In July, beloved fitness guru Richard Simmons passed away at the age of 76. TMZ was first to report the news, confirming that authorities were called to Simmons' home, where he was pronounced dead at the scene. His official cause of death was listed as complications of a fall and heart disease. In the 70s, Simmons rocketed to fame as everyone's favorite fitness guru. His flashy, funny character, which was so different from every other taut, humorless fitness personality at the time, found a way to make people of all ages, shapes, and sizes laugh and actually enjoy working out while sweating to the oldies. He created videos, books, and hosted classes with a mission to get ordinary people in the best possible shape. In 2014, however, Simmons stepped away from the spotlight. With his sudden disappearance, rumors and conspiracy theories circulated around the internet. However, in 2016, he reassured the public that he just needed a break, telling Today, I do what I want to do as I've always done, so people should sort of just believe what I have to say because, I'm Richard Simmons.
No one should feel sorry for Richard Simmons, because I think I'm one of the most loved people in the whole world.
Over the years, Simmons stayed away from the spotlight, occasionally posting updates about his life on social media up until his death. A celebration of life was held on October 5, 2024, in Simmons' hometown of New Orleans. It was followed by a mass workout outside the cathedral and, in grand New Orleans tradition, a celebratory second-line parade. On July 13th, Shannen Doherty died from breast cancer at the age of 53. The Beverly Hills 90210 star was first diagnosed with breast cancer in 2015. 2 years later, she shared the good news that she was in remission, but the cancer returned with a vengeance in 2019.
I have stage 4, so my cancer came back. It's a bitter pill to swallow in a lot of ways.
As time went on, Doherty continued to update the public via social media about her illness, acknowledging her fears but still managing to hang on to hope that she would beat it. But it was not to be. Doherty will forever be remembered as a strong woman and cancer warrior who starred in some massively popular TV series. Country music legend Toby Keith died on February 5th at age 62. A somber statement on his official website read, "Toby Keith passed peacefully last night. He fought his fight with grace and courage. Please respect the privacy of his family at this time." Keith, famous for smash hit tracks like Red Solo Cup and Should Have Been a Cowboy, had been living with stomach cancer before his death. In a June 2022 Instagram post, he reached out to his fans, writing, "I've spent the last 6 months receiving chemo, radiation, and surgery. So far, so good. I need time to breathe, recover, and relax, but I will see the fans sooner than later. I can't wait." Keith's glittering career landed him the number 96 spot on Rolling Stone's 100 Greatest Country Artists of All Time. The publication described Keith's humble upbringings as the source of his gift, writing, "An Oklahoma native and former oil rig worker, Toby Keith has tapped into the blue-collar lifestyle with humor and sincerity." Over the course of his career, Keith released 19 studio albums, sold more than 40 million copies, and had 20 #1 hits.
We hit it off like a house of fire. I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed talking to Toby Keith.
When news of his death broke, the country western world flocked to social media to pay tribute to the late musician. Zach Bryan took to X to write, "Too many rides in my old man's car listening to Toby Keith. Really hard thing to hear. Rest in peace, friend. We love you." Big and Rich's John Rich also took to X to write, "He was a true patriot, a first-class singer-songwriter, and a bigger-than-life kind of guy. He will be greatly missed." Acclaimed music producer Quincy Jones died of pancreatic cancer on November 4th in his Bel Air home at the age of 91. His family released a statement that read, "Tonight, with full but broken hearts, we must share the news of our father and brother Quincy Jones's passing. And although this is an incredible loss for our family, we celebrate the great life that he lived and know there will never be another like him."
Love, laugh, live, and give. That's what it's about.
Jones was a longtime fixture in the entertainment industry, having worked with legends like Michael Jackson, Aretha Franklin, and Ray Charles. In a 2018 interview with Vulture, he said, "Everything was something to be proud of, absolutely. It's been an amazing contrast of genres. Since I was very young, I've played all kinds of music. Bar mitzvah music, Sousa marches, strip club music, jazz, pop, everything. I didn't have to learn a thing to do Michael Jackson." Along with his music legacy, Jones leaves behind 7 children: Jolie, Rachel, Martina, Quincy III, Kadada, Rashida, and Kenya Jones. In a poignant last Instagram post, the EGOT winner gave his daughter Martina a birthday shout-out, writing, "Happy birthday to my Tina Bina. So proud to be yo papa. Big hug. I love you eternally." Carl Weathers died in his sleep on February 1st. The Rocky actor was 76 years old. A statement by his family read, "Carl was an exceptional human being who lived an extraordinary life. Through his contributions to film, television, the arts, and sports, he has left an indelible mark and is recognized worldwide and across generations." Weathers was a linebacker for the Oakland Raiders before turning to acting, but once he did, he never looked back. His most famous role was that of Apollo Creed, the heavyweight boxer who went head-to-head against Sylvester Stallone's Rocky Balboa in the iconic 1976 flick and again in the 1979 sequel.
The whole world's gonna see the real Apollo Creed. Lightning fast and hard to catch. No playing, no jiving, just business. All right.
Weathers' character became Balboa's trainer in the 3rd and 4th installments of the Rocky franchise, but he almost didn't get the role after insulting Stallone during his audition. In a 2015 interview with The Hollywood Reporter, he recalled, "There was nobody to read with, and they said, 'You're going to read with the writer.' We read through the scene, and at the end of it, I didn't feel like it had really sailed, so I just blurted out, 'I could do a lot better if you got me a real actor to work with.'"
No, he's Rocky. It was, all right, how you doing, Rock?
Actor Donald Sutherland died at 88 years of age on June 20th after what his agency described as a long illness. He is survived by his wife, Francine Rissette, his 5 children, Rogue, Rosif, Angus, Rachel, fellow actor Kiefer, and 4 grandchildren. After the news broke, Kiefer took to X to share a childhood photo of himself and his father, writing, "One of the most important actors in the history of film. Never daunted by a role, good, bad, or ugly. He loved what he did and did what he loved, and one can never ask for more than that, a life well lived." Sutherland had many noteworthy film and TV credits to his name, including The Dirty Dozen, MASH, Pride and Prejudice, and the Hunger Games franchise.
Let it fly, Miss Everdeen. Let it fly.
He won both an Emmy and a Golden Globe Award for his role in the 1995 HBO film Citizen X, and received an honorary Academy Award in 2017, where he was introduced by his Hunger Games co-star, Jennifer Lawrence. Broadway icon Chita Rivera died on January 30th at the age of 91. The Tony Award-winning star passed away following a short illness, according to her daughter. Rivera, born in Washington, D.C. in January 1933, led a glittering theater career that spanned nearly 7 decades. She won 2 Tony Awards and was most famous for playing Velma in Chicago, Rose in Bye Bye Birdie, and Anita in West Side Story.
She was the most powerful human being ever to step on a stage. I've never known anybody like her.
Following the sad news, tributes flooded in from fans and fellow celebrities. Rita Moreno, who took over the role Rivera originated on stage for the iconic 1961 film version of West Side Story, posted on Instagram, "She was the essence of Broadway. As I write this, I'm raising a glass to this remarkable woman and friend." Catherine Zeta-Jones, who won an Oscar for her portrayal of Velma in the film version of Chicago, poured her heart out in an Instagram tribute, writing, "There will never ever be anyone like you, Chita, ever. Dim the lights on Broadway, or may I suggest we just pull the plug? I love you, Chita. Sleep tight, my queen." Beloved sex therapist Dr. Ruth Westheimer died in July at 96. The 4-foot, 7-inch tall powerhouse led an extraordinary life. Born in 1928 to a Jewish family in Germany, her parents sent her to Switzerland for her safety when she was just 10 years old. Both parents were murdered in a concentration camp. After living in several different countries, including Palestine, where she was trained as a sniper and fought in the Israeli War of Independence, Westheimer eventually landed in New York City. There, she began her life's work as a sex therapist. Ultimately, she hosted a groundbreaking call-in show focusing on relationships and human sexuality.
I do believe in let's make love instead of let's make war. There's nothing more interesting.
At a time when sex was a relatively taboo topic, Westheimer would talk about all of it. She told USC Shoah Foundation, "I think everyone liked my show because I was honest. I listened to people's problems and gave them practical ways to solve them."
Of course I read that 50 Shades of Grey. Not great literature, but interesting to read.
But it wasn't just her expertise that drew people in. Her personality was infectious, and her grandson wanted her to remember it, adding, "Plus, you were funny." Dexter Scott King, the youngest son of Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott King, died on January 22nd from prostate cancer. His wife, Leah Weber King, shared the news, announcing, "He transitioned peacefully in his sleep at home with me in Malibu. As with all the challenges in his life, he faced this hurdle with bravery and might." Dexter was both the chairman of the King Center, an organization that promotes and protects the King family legacy, and president of the King Estate. A statement released by the center read, "He devoted his life to the continued perpetuation of his father's legacy and the protection of the intellectual property his father left behind."
Where others preached hatred, he preached and taught the principles of love.
Of course, the King family are no strangers to struggle and tragedy. During a 2018 joint interview with his siblings, Dexter spoke about learning of his father's death when he was only 7 years old, admitting, "Even to this day, when I see a breaking news flash, I have PTSD." Alec Musser, best known for his work as Del Henry on All My Children, died by suicide on January 12th at the age of 50. His fiancée, Paige Press, grieved on Instagram, posting, "RIP to the love of my life, Alec Musser, I will never stop loving you. My heart is broken." As an actor, Musser had appeared in shows like Desperate Housewives and Rita Rocks, as well as the 2010 comedy drama Grown Ups, in which he starred alongside Adam Sandler. Following news of Musser's death, Sandler took to Instagram with a touching tribute, writing, "I loved this guy. Cannot believe he is gone. Such a wonderful, funny, good man. Thinking of Alec Musser and his family and sending all my love. A true great sweetheart of a person."
Oh my God. Del Henry as I live and breathe.
Beyond acting, Musser also made a name for himself as a model, working with brands like Abercrombie & Fitch, Target, and a few major magazines, including GQ and Men's Health. On March 12th, 64-year-old General Hospital star Robyn Bernard was found dead in an open field in Riverside County. The cause of death was acute alcohol intoxication. She made her acting debut in the 1981 French thriller Diva before getting her big break in 1984 when she was cast as Terry Brock in General Hospital. In the 6 years that followed, Bernard appeared in 172 episodes of the show before exiting in 1990. In addition to the soap, Bernard made appearances in films and series, including Simon & Simon, Kings for a Day, The Facts of Life, and Tour of Duty. Dabney Coleman, the comedic character actor who appeared in films like 9 to 5 and Tootsie, died of cardiac arrest on May 16th at age 92. Throughout his career, Coleman received 6 Primetime Emmy nominations, winning once for the 1987 TV movie Sworn to Silence. In more recent years, he appeared on shows like Boardwalk Empire and Yellowstone, in which he played Kevin Costner's character John Dutton's father. In addition to his Emmy nods, Coleman was nominated for 3 Golden Globe Awards, winning Best Actor in a Television Series, Musical, or Comedy for 1987's The Slap Maxwell Story. Coleman is survived by his 4 children, Megan, Kelly, Randy, and Quincy, and 5 grandchildren. In a statement, Quincy wrote, "A teacher, a hero, and a king, Dabney Coleman is a gift and blessing in life and in death, as his spirit will shine through his work, his loved ones, and his legacy eternally." Comedy fans across generations grieved when comic giant Bob Newhart died on July 18, 2024, at age 94. According to his publicist, he'd recently suffered a series of short illnesses. Newhart was known for his dry wit, soft-spoken delivery, and one-sided phone conversation bit that left audiences roaring with laughter.
Pan American 715. You haven't seen United 209 up there anywhere, have you?
His career highlights include the 70s sitcom The Bob Newhart Show, in which he played psychologist Bob Hartley. In his follow-up sitcom Newhart, he played innkeeper Dick Loudon, which ended with a now legendary callback.
Honey, wake up. You won't believe the dream I just had. I was an innkeeper in this crazy little town in Vermont.
Fans who watched the finale live will never forget the moment they realized where the story was going. The ending was as bold as Newhart himself, who was working as an accountant when he decided to pursue a career in stand-up. In 1960, he released The Button-Down Mind of Bob Newhart, a comedy album that became a smash hit and helped him get a foothold in television. Newhart's career spanned 6 decades and included memorable appearances in the movie Elf, The Big Bang Theory, and its spin-off Young Sheldon. When it came to playing the straight man, Newhart was the master of deadpan. He always strove to make fans laugh without relying on material that might shock or offend.
Appreciate them, Sheldon.
In a CBS Sunday Morning interview Newhart shared, "People come up to me and they say, 'Thanks for all the laughter,' and I say, 'It was my pleasure,' and that's the truth." Celebrated star of the screen and stage, Gena Rowlands died at age 94 on August 14, 2024. 2 months prior, her son, director Nick Cassavetes, told Entertainment Weekly that Rowlands had been living with Alzheimer's disease for half a decade. Nick directed his mother in the popular 2004 film The Notebook, in which she played a woman suffering from dementia. Speaking about her condition, he shared, "It's so crazy. We lived it, she acted it, and now it's on us."
Would love be considered an art?
Half a century before she helped her son bring his epic romance to life, Rowlands embarked on a Hollywood love story for the ages, as a muse for his father, acclaimed indie film director John Cassavetes. The couple married in 1954, after which they collaborated on 10 movies, including A Woman Under the Influence. In the 1974 drama, Rowlands gives a riveting performance as a wife and mother struggling with severe mental illness. Speaking to Beverly Cinema, she said, "It's my favorite role of all time because it was just so well written and it felt so real." The Academy agreed. The role earned her an Oscar nomination, and 6 years later, she earned another nod for playing a woman running from the mob with a kid in tow in her husband's crime thriller, Gloria. Reflecting on the work she did with John before his 1989 death, Rowlands said, "We just wanted to write and act what people actually say and do. People who are living. John and I were really on the same wavelength." Beloved actor Teri Garr, known for her roles in Young Frankenstein and Tootsie, died on October 29th at the age of 79. According to her publicist, Garr's cause of death was complications from multiple sclerosis, with which she was diagnosed 25 years ago. Garr went public with her diagnosis in 2002, telling Larry King that she'd been experiencing symptoms for years. "I would run, jog in the park, and I just started tripping. It was just like my toe. I would start to trip, and then that would go away. Then I would get some tingling in my arm." After several misdiagnoses, the doctors finally pinpointed her symptoms as MS. Garr told Closer, "I went to 11 doctors. It's a very hard diagnosis. Unfortunately, after going public with her disease, roles were scarce. However, she channeled her energy into raising awareness for MS, sharing, 'I thought I could show what a difference a positive attitude could make. In conjunction with drugs and medical treatment, a positive attitude and a sense of humor go a long way.'"
Hello. Would you like to have a roll in the hay?
One of Garr's most notable roles towards the end of her career was in Friends as the kooky mom of Lisa Kudrow's Phoebe Buffay. After learning about Garr's death, Kudrow told People magazine, "Teri Garr was a comedic acting genius who was and is a huge influence on me, and I know I'm not alone in that. I feel so lucky and grateful I got to work with Teri Garr." Television host Lou Dobbs died at age 78 on July 18, 2024. His death was announced on his X account in a post reading, "He was a fighter till the very end, fighting for what mattered to him the most, God, his family, and the country." The conservative commentator began hosting the CNN series Moneyline in 1980. Initially, the show focused on business news, but later became more politically slanted and was renamed Lou Dobbs Tonight in 2003. In 2011, Dobbs moved the show to Fox Business, but kept the same title. Dobbs lost his job at Fox in 2021 after being named in a defamation suit by the voting machine company Smartmatic. He'd used his platform to promote the false claim that Smartmatic software had been used to commit voter fraud by altering votes. Dobbs was known for pushing conspiracy theories, such as the debunked claim that former President Barack Obama wasn't born in America. The birtherism movement was also popular with Donald Trump, who was Dobbs' first guest when he joined MyPillow creator Mike Lindell's right-wing streaming network, FrankSpeech, in January 2024. Days before his death, Dobbs further demonstrated his support for Trump by peddling another conspiracy theory. He tweeted that Democrats were to blame for the assassination attempt on the ex-president. Dobbs' allegiance to the MAGA cause was rewarded with a posthumous tribute from Trump on Truth Social, where he wrote in part, "He understood the world and what was happening better than others." Barbara Rush was an iconic figure of 1950s cinema, celebrated for her roles in dramas like Magnificent Obsession and The Young Philadelphians, as well as her appearances in the soap operas Peyton Place and All My Children. She died on March 31st at the age of 97. Her daughter, news reporter Claudia Cowan, released a statement to Fox News Digital, saying, "My wonderful mother passed away peacefully at 5:28 this evening. It's fitting she chose to leave on Easter, as it was one of her favorite holidays. And now, of course, Easter will have a deeper significance for me and my family." On Instagram, Cowan referred to her mother as among the last of old Hollywood royalty, a nod to her fame during Hollywood's golden age. During that time, Rush was under contract with major studios such as Paramount, Universal, and 20th Century Fox, and shared the screen with some of the industry's most sought-after leading men, including Paul Newman, Dean Martin, Marlon Brando, Frank Sinatra, and Rock Hudson. She also worked on stage, starring in 40 Carats and Broadway's A Woman of Independent Means.
All right, how do you want to handle this, pleasant or unpleasant?
Despite not winning an Oscar or an Emmy, Rush's love for her craft never faltered. In an interview with film historian Dan Miller, she explained, "I was just realistic. I loved to work, I enjoyed being there, and I would have happily done anything they asked me to. I never refused a role." Rush is survived by Cowan, her son Christopher Hunter, and 4 grandchildren. On January 13th, the Honeymooners star Joyce Randolph died at home of natural causes at the age of 99. Randolph was the last surviving star of the groundbreaking CBS sitcom that premiered back in 1955. After a short-lived career, however, Randolph eventually quit showbiz, taking a step back to focus on marriage and motherhood. Speaking with the New York Times in 2007, she shared, "I didn't miss a thing by not working all the time. I didn't want a nanny raising my wonderful son." Born in 1924, Randolph's acting career took off in the 40s when she moved to New York to work on Broadway. A few years later, Randolph landed the role of Trixie Norton on the short-lived NBC show that is, ironically, still airing today.
Hint to Ralph always to face the camera, because when he turns profile, brother, he's the biggest thing on television.
In addition to the Honeymooners, Randolph also played Trixie on the Jackie Gleason Show, appearing in a total of 59 episodes between 1952 and 1957. In Memoriam: Glynis Johns, Christian Oliver, David Soul, Aidan Canto, Dame Maggie Smith, Bill Hayes, Adam Harrison, Garrison Brown, Jack Russell,